So many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? You know, because at some point, you know, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen.
She's getting crazier and dumber and weirder. You heard that, right? We're all members of a cult in MAGA, huh? And once Trump, they desperately want him to leave the stage. They desperately want to see him in jail. We will have to be deprogrammed, right? Oh, Hillary, he's winning, by the way. He's winning these civil cases. And you watch the criminal cases, too. We're not in a cult, all right? If you call the Constitution, supporting strong borders, not getting into pointless wars and not winning them, huh? Deregulation, lower taxes. These are beautiful principles, okay? They've been around for a long... You know what a cult is? Jonestown, Guyana. Who remembers that? Jim Jones getting everybody to drink the poison, right? That's a cult. Charles Manson and those crazy women he got to, what? Kill for him. That is a cult. And you want to see another cult, actually? This kind of stuff. This crazy gender weirdness, kids in the school with drag queens. This actually is what a cult looks like, huh? The cult of woke. More on that in a moment. I noticed Christiane Amanpour was just nodding her head. Yes, oh yes, they need to be deprogrammed. Where's that nod? Let me see that head nod. Oh yeah, of course. Yes, of course they do. But what's her question next? It's not like, are you crazy? Get out of the studio. No. How? How do we deprogram them?
And how do you do that? Because you said you have to defeat them by defeating their leader. Their leader
Right.
is Donald Trump. Even you have said that you expect him to be the Republican nominee. How does this change at all?
At this point, I think, sadly, he will still likely be the nominee, and we have to defeat him. And we have to defeat those who are the election deniers, as we did in 2020 and 2022. And we have to, you know, just be smarter about how we are trying to empower the right people inside the Republican Party.
And what lengths will they go to make this happen? It's pretty scary, actually. I think they'll burn the country down rather than let him win. These are dangerous times. What will they do, deprogramming people? It's not just her. Her Republican friends, rhinos like Liz Cheney. I thought this was pretty ominous as well.
In our country, we don't swear an oath to an individual or a political party. We take our oath to defend the United States Constitution. And that oath must mean something. Tonight, I say this to my Republican colleagues who are defending the indefensible. There will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain.
She is so wildly mischaracterizing what MAGA is all about. Has she ever actually sat through a Trump rally? Watch the whole thing. I'd like to see her quarrel with what Donald Trump is talking about. She can't, actually. These are this is not extremist stuff. This is common sense stuff. That's what MAGA is about. The stain, right? It sounds like they're coming for us, right? If they manage to throw Trump in jail or whatever, they're coming for us. When he says he's the only thing standing between, you know, they're coming for us, he's just in the way, that really resonates, especially now. There is a cult out there, the cult of woke. This is what we're dealing with. MAGA is not a cult. This stuff, this is a cult. And what does a cult do? They push things that are totally indefensible, totally unreal, and make their followers accept it. Like this.
1/6 attack for the future of the country is a profoundly more dangerous event than the 9/11 attacks. And in the end, the 1/6 attacks are likely to kill a lot more Americans than were killed on the 9/11 attacks.
January 6th was worse than 9/11 because it's continued to rip our country apart and give permission for people to pursue autocratic means.
These two guys, they helped bring us the Iraq War. They're not just some dudes with podcasts, all right? That's Matthew Dowd with the glasses there. He ran strategic communications for George W. Bush. The other guy who might have some sort of syndrome is Steve Schmidt. He actually worked for George W. Bush and John McCain, and more recently, the Lincoln Project. So what are they saying again? 9/11, January 6th. January 6th was worse than 9/11. The other guy said, actually, he went on to say, January 6th was worse than the two wars we fought, Afghanistan and Iraq, right? Wow.